Welcome to Drink Wine Be Crafty. I'm Megan. Today I will be showing you guys a Christmas ornament tutorial with a little crochet ball at the top, and then I'm going to show you guys how I pieced it all together. The materials that you're going to need for this project, I use green, but I'm going to use red. It's easier to see. The same brand I bought at Walmart, Peaches and Cream. And then I'm going to use a 4.25 millimeter hook. And then the wooden beads that I'm using, I purchased a big bag at Joann's, and then I got the biggest and then the smallest out, and I've already painted the smallest gold. That's why it's on the little pin. And the gold paint is one that I found at Joann's as well. The big bag of beads comes with a lot of different it's a few different sizes, a few different shapes, so I'll probably be using those in a lot of projects. The hook that I made out of some wire that I bought at the Dollar Tree, just some floral wire, and I just made a little hook for the top. And then you guys are going to need some cotton cord. I made this size cotton cord out of a 3mm cotton cord, and I'm gonna post a video on how I make it the sizes that I want, but this was the original cord, and then I just made it smaller to be the size that I wanted for this project. I also have a little comb so I can make the fringe. The first step will be the crochet ball, and we're going to use a magic circle. So pinch your yarn and then wrap it around your fingers, cross over like this, and then I'm going to hold on to it again with my thumb and pinky. Now we want to get crochet hook, pull it through. It's easier if it's a little bit more loose. You don't want it to be super tight. Once I get to this point, I actually like to just pinch the hook, take it off my hand, and then you want to do a chain one. And to do that, I just switch hands. I pinch it just like I have it in the other hand, but switch, and then I do my chain one. And once you've done a chain one, you're going to do 6 single crochets inside of the circle. Okay, now that you have 6 single crochets, we are going to take the short end of the work and we're going to tighten this to make it into a circle. So grab the short end and just pull slowly and make it nice and snug, and it will start forming into a circle. I always just use a different color yarn to mark the starting point of my next round. So I'm going to hold that there. And then for round 2, you're going to do 2 single crochets into each stitch. So once you get around, you're going to have 12 stitches. So we're going to start in this first one, and we're going to do 2 and do that all the way around, again to have 12 at the end. That was the only round that we increased for this, so the next 3 rounds you are going to do 1 single crochet all the way around. So you will have 3 rows that you do 12 stitches. And I just realized that I forgot to tell you guys that you are going to need a little bit of stuffing for this, like just a tiny bit. I actually had an old pillow that I didn't need, so I used a little bit of stuffing, but here's our ball so far. You want to add it now because this is the point after you've done the 3 rows or 3 rounds of 12 single crochets. Then go ahead and get a little stuffing. It only takes a tiny bit. Matter of fact, you probably get like a little cotton ball or something. Put it in there. And then once you put this in, we are going to decrease. So you're going to decrease for 2 rows and then it'll be finished. Okay, so to decrease, what you will need to do is you will, in these first 2 stitches, and it's a little hard to see because it kind of rolls over a little bit whenever you start doing a circle, but we're going to go into the first and the second stitches. In decreasing, what you do is you do you go through the first stitch, you pull through, and you immediately go into the second stitch and you pull through. And then you will yarn over and pull through both of those. So you're just combining those 2 stitches and making them one. And you're going to do that 6 times because at this point we have 12 stitches and we're going to decrease in all of them. So again, go into this next stitch and then pull your yarn through and then go immediately into the stitch beside it. Sorry, this yarn can be a little bit tricky, it gets hung sometimes. Immediately in the next one and pull your yarn through and then yarn over and pull through both, and we'll do that 4 more times. And this will be our final round. We are going to decrease again, and this time it will be 3 decreases. So we're going to go from 6 stitches to 3, and there's no way to not know when you get to the end of this because once you get to the 3rd one, you can't go any further. It's so tiny that it just, you have to end. So let's do these last couple stitches here and then I will show you how to finish. Okay, so we just finished our last stitch and we're going to just do a slip stitch, and then you cut your yarn and then just pull it all the way through to tie a little knot, and then tighten it up the best you can, and then we're going to hide these ends. You're going to need a yarn needle to hide these ends. The one I have is not the best. I do have a daughter that likes to crochet and she steals my yarn needles and never returns them, so I get stuck with the crappy ones. So we're gonna just go in the top of the ball here and we're gonna pull through and just trim off. Once I finally get it through, this needle is not sharp and my filling is super thick, or my stuffing is super thick. But do that on both sides and then we're going to trim that off, and then we will have completed our adorable little crochet ball. And just grab a pair of scissors and trim off the little excess on each side, and that is it. And I just use the end of my yarn needle to push in the ends so they're completely hidden. And you'll see that this one is almost the exact same size as the wooden one that we're going to use. So it turned out to be a perfect fit. Okay, now we just need to connect everything. So I'm going to use the yarn needle to connect my cord to the crochet ball and the beads. Now that I'm getting this end through, I'm going to do the same exact thing to the other end of the cord, but before I do that, I'm going to put my little ring or hook on the other side. You can use, if you don't want to make a little ring like I did out of wire, you could always just get an O-ring and use that. It would work just as good. So we're going to put it through here, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put this end of the cord through the crochet ball.
Let it snow, let it...
Grab the first wooden bead now, and you're going to put both ends of this cord through that bead, and this will fit the needle that I have. Actually fits through this one, but it does not fit through the smaller one. So what I'm gonna do once I put this through the big bead, for the small bead I'm gonna wrap some tape around the ends of my rope so I can push it through a little easier through the smaller one, because the needle just won't fit through the smaller bead.
Let it... Let it snow, let it...
This cord that I used was much too long, but now we just need to, I'm going to trim off the excess. You'll need, it takes about 14 inches of cord. This I had already cut, so it's way more than that. So I'm going to cut a good bit of this off. And once we have cut the cord, we are just going to do the fringe. I want these to be the same. So I'm going to measure this one out just so they are just alike. And then all you have to do, the little black comb that I have, I bought at the dollar store, and it works so great just with this, at least with this rope that I'm using. And just brush through to make the fringe, and that will be the end of the project. I really loved this ornament. I hope you guys liked it too. I got excited after I made it. I couldn't wait to share it with you. And I have several others that I already know I want to share. So I will be having, there's so many Christmas crafts coming, guys. So remember to subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Let it... Let it snow.